Okay, a quick update on progress status. Um, I don't know if I showed you guys this or not, but there's a bolt used to go through here to hold this fender on. Well, after I fill in these holes, it's not going to be accessible anymore. So, of the number of different things I could have done, I chose to drill a big ass hole in here and put a screw in from the inside out. Now I will fabricate and cover that with an aluminum plate. But the next place I apply bodywork material to will be this area here to finish this off, and then this is going to come all the way out to this. It used to stop at that line right there, but it had that big thing over it, so I was going to actually come all the way out to here, because that's the only way I can go from here to here and clear this edge. Now I could cut or pound this down, but this is not the vehicle you want to mess with structural integrity on. So the doors, that's like what I'll be doing next. The doors are completely ready to pull, ready to be primered. All the front fenders, everything for the front is ready to be primered. And the doors will go really fast once I pull them off. But we have been impacted with a major negative weather event, which saw us have 25-degree nights and a sustained 15 to 30 mile an hour winds and gusts up to 45 mile an hour. And this managed to stay. The only thing this doesn't have on it is a door. The wind was coming from this direction, and I come out during this windy period, and it was just all blowing in the wind. And so I threw some stuff on top of it, and it survived everything short of a hurricane. So all I gotta do is rearrange plastic on that, and I'll be moving on from there. Now, I have this blow-up paint booth. I need something to prime in first, but I have this blow-up paint booth, and it relies on air pressure from the blower, an air 500-watt blower that blows up these columns that turn it into like a fun playhouse or something. But it's got filters and air intake for a paint booth. So the problem with it is, there's two problems. It will not sustain any wind or negative rain or any negative weather events at all. And when you shut it off, after you're done painting, if you shut it off, it'll just collapse down back onto itself and onto the parts you just painted. So how I'm going to handle those situations is to build a sarcophagus that's going to be around the outside of it. And it is 8.3 wide by 8.3 high by 10 foot long. And this will be 10 foot wide by 12 foot long. So I'll have a door on the front of it. It'll be covered in plastic like that, but it will be held on much better by using this furring strips, and I'll just zip brad nails in it to hold the plastic. And then when I inflate, the first time I inflate the paint booth, I'll be using these 2x2s to build a skeleton inside of it, so that when I paint something, I can walk outside, turn the blower off, and then just lay down onto the skeleton, as opposed to falling my painted parts. But first, I got to prime stuff. And priming, you're just going to sand most of it off anyway. Filler primer, you're just going to sand most of it off anyway. Your final coat of primer will come immediately before the base coat and then the clear coat. So, when I build this sarcophagus, it will be the priming paint booth, which means I can start priming stuff as soon as it gets to at least 65 degrees out here. It's about 50 now, and may creep up to 53 or so today. But good weather is coming, but warm weather is not enough. In order to prime outdoors, you've got to be warm weather with minimal winds, and that's just not going to work out. And that window of time doesn't let me get this done in the next 22 days. So now I got these boards from Lowe's, and they are your typical. Somewhere in the world is a forest that grows crooked trees, and a sawmill that cuts crooked boards, and they're all sent to Lowe's. But anyway, I got all these crooked, nasty boards. And this thing is not going to meet any kind of building code whatsoever. I'm just slapping it together digging it a foot in, they're 10-foot boards, so I'll dig a foot into the ground, six or eight places, I think actually 9 maybe total, and then just run stringers and hang plastic over it, and then shoot brad nails in it to hold the plastic. So that's going to happen pretty fast. I mean, I'm not like taking exact measurements or anything. And the reason I'm putting it right here, one, is because I need the space. Number two, when I get done with it, or get done painting the car, I can just take it, lift it up out of the ground, move that metal thing there, and drop it right down over this dyno, or I can work on it, clean it up, make it super awesome, polish all the copper and brass and gauges and chrome and aluminum, and then remove the sticker adhesive that's on it and make it go in circles, make it run. And how I will do that, I don't have a control system currently, but if you don't have enough electricity, it's only going to feed as much as it can provide. So there's not going to be any load on it. So you're not like testing it against the load of it in there. You're just going to make it run as if it's in generator mode. And that's fairly simple to do. So there we go. That's today's little thing. I would like to get this done today and move on with my life, which was, you know, as soon as tomorrow I can start putting material on the car. And as soon as it hits 65, I'd like to see 70, I can prime the bejesus out of them with filler primer, bolt them back on the car, block them all, take them off, filler primer once again, probably put them on the car, block them again, then take them off. Then it's time for the final coat of primer and the base coat and the clear coat. So that's where we are. And while that has to happen, I have to get the inside of the door jambs. I still got to sand the top of the C-rail, and still got to do quite a bit of stuff to it, but the doors will be easy because they're going to be laying down. When I put that fiberglass in there, it should murder to put that fiberglass. Also, putting that hole in the back of there has allowed me to access to these holes, which I can load some fiberglass on a piece of metal, stick it in there from behind, let it dry, and then I can just lay the fiberglass on with no worries of poking through those holes and leaving voids. So that is actually the most difficult piece of body work I have left. These doors will be a real simple when I lay them down. And also I have the door panels off, so I can block all those holes from behind. So that's why I stripped it all down and started over, because when I originally filled them, I was just going to paint the bumper, the bottom of the doors, and the right front fender. Having changed that, then I've decided to, we decided actually, to change the color to the Corvette Victory Red, which means all the inside door jambs and all around the inside of the door has got to be shot under the hood. But again, if it's off the car, that's pretty simple to do. And I have a spoiler, actually. A real cool spoiler. Goes on here. Be careful. And then that's going to aid greatly into the look that I'm aiming to achieve. There you go. I'll get back in a little bit if I get this in farther away. So today ends with one wall up, color wall, and the other end finished. I just got to stand it up, position it, and I can put the top and the back on, and it's going to be really strong. If you wonder what the little tiny 2x2 stringers are, ask the Egyptians. Think triangles. Every house should be built with that additional brace between the two and the top and bottom. That makes two triangles. And if you look hard and look over the whole thing, you can just see triangles all over, getting bigger and smaller. But triangles are your strongest shape, so geometric shape. So anyway, I got to get some more 2x2s. This is a really big wall. So, but remember, it's only 7 inches higher than the 7 inches higher than the paint booth. 1 foot less than 1 foot extra on both sides and 1 foot from each end. So it can't really be smaller. But I will imagine that when I get it up and when I put the tarp on it, I'm gonna get some eye bolts and some stakes and some really strong twine and tie it down, because I wouldn't be doing all this if it just didn't get ridiculously cold. And I mean, you can imagine what a 45-mile-an-hour wind would do to this thing when it's all constructed. Without something to hold it, you can imagine what it would do to an inflatable paint booth if it didn't have this around it. So, is it level? No. Is it square? No. Will it do the job? Yes. It'll do it nicely. It'll be a lot stronger than you would think it would be, using no more boards than I did. But you know, I don't have to support a roof or anything. So it's only a foot into the ground. So when I'm done getting everything primed and painted, I could literally just pull it out of the ground, cut it off level, go out that gate, slide it over the top of the Volkswagen, and just put blocks on those boards there, and then prime and paint the Volkswagen in here, probably without the paint booth. There's just not enough to paint to worry about trying to get it into that paint booth. It's the C-pillar, basically. You know, weather like this, it's so cool, there's no dust in the air, and I'll be out of the wind. And all you're going to be looking at is going to be painted this roof and these the C panels, and then that down at the bottom, the rockers. So now I could shoot at all the inside of the door jambs, all that at once. But first we worry about getting all of these parts that I've been working on primed and painted. And then I can prime the panels and stuff outside. But this severe weather has forced this move. I want to drop a bunch of money and build a sarcophagus. But there's just, I can't take any chances. I'm going to run out of time. I've got to do some spraying, and I can't wait for the temperature window and low wind conditions where I could just like set it in there and prime it somewhere. There's going to be primer going anyway. If it's windy like it is today, there'll be more primer in the air than going on the car. So the first thing that's going to be really cool about that thing, and I'll finish it tomorrow, is I'll be able to fucking prime some parts finally. It's going to be awesome. And you're like, this dent here, this is all nothing to fix, because she didn't get any of the body lines here. Try to take that out. If you mess with this metal much, it'll just bow on you, buckle. So there we go. Tomorrow the adventure continues. Actually, I screwed it all together, so there's not going to be much to the back wall or the front. There's going to be a door opening there, but there's not going to be much to unscrew. That I can just leave the walls in one piece, and I'll just bring out this gate and then reconstruct it right over the Volkswagen. And by then the doors will be painted. I don't know if the doors will be painted. I could wait to paint the doors after I shoot the rest of the body so I can put it together. But the fenders will all be painted, the hood, the bumpers, all that nonsense will be done. I just have to start doing some spraying. And this weather, tomorrow won't be suitable weather to prime. The temperature won't be warm enough, and it'll be barely warm enough to use any fiberglass or anything anyway. So I have an extra day. Sometimes you just gotta see what potentially the future holds for you, and realize that without extraordinary effort, you're going to come up short.